Okay, so we are going to go ahead and practice some forms with our gouache paint. So I am going to practice a circle form. So I just want to turn a little circle right here with most of the paint at the bottom and just a little bit at the top. And then now I'm going to add a lighter color to fill in the center. Make sure you really cover the side that does not have the shadow on it. So our sun is coming from up here, so our shadow is going to be down here. So make sure you put most of the paint up here and just a little bit down here of that lighter color that we're using right now. So I'm just packing that in. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just practicing my shadows. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with that darker color and I'm going to curve around the edge where it would be sitting on a table. Really darken the edge up. You could use a few colors to indicate shade as long as they are different than your main color. More specifically, darker than your main color. Okay, so really get dark on that edge. And then switch it up. Go with a really, really light color at the top. Still curving. Still curving. Curve, curve, curve. I'm just blending in those colors. Darker at the bottom, lighter at the top. Really light highlights at the top. Being very gentle. Just brush, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of white and make a very strong highlight. And then I'm going to take my dark gray, because shadows aren't necessarily black, they're mostly just gray, different colors combining into one to give us that gray color that appears black. So then I'm going in and I'm just really adding that shadow. Boom. Okay, so that's a little circle. I'm gonna clear off my brush here for a second. And then I'm gonna do an eyeball for my form. And I'm gonna do it again in non-typical colors. So I'm gonna start off with this really, really bright orange. And I create my little eyeball shape. Right, I'm leaving the center blank because obviously our eyes are mostly white in the middle. Then after I put my base color, I'm going to go in with a little bit of shadow because I have some pretty baggy eyes, I'm not gonna lie. Really underneath. And make sure when you're doing this, you're looking in the mirror that I've given you so you can check the mirror, check yourself, and then go back to the paper, look at the paper, add it, all the little details, go back to the mirror, check the mirror, and so forth. So make sure you're just checking yourself and going back and forth to the mirror and to the paper. So then I'm adding some lighter colors. You really want a mix of lighter and darker colors for those highlights and lowlights. Right, and then I like to go back with my original color and blend just a little bit more. Make sure you're using 2 parts gouache and 1 part water, at least if you want to blend easily. Just adding more. Boom, that looks a little bit more blended. Okay. Now, even though the paper is white, I am going to add white for my actual eye. Let me get that white, and then just dab it in a little circle motion. I'm being really gentle so that I don't go over the little shape that I've created with all the different colors. And then at the very tip of our eyes, we have a really dark red almost. So I'm gonna add that. And again, this is very expressionistic, so I don't have to be too serious with that. If you want to be more serious, that's totally fine. Then you would just use calmer, darker colors and brush strokes to make a more realistic line. But I like to get a little bit uncanny with my drawings. So now I'm gonna pick another weird color for my actual pupil. Just mixing it up right now. Let's do purple. Yeah, purple. And again, I'm checking my mirror. And I'm going back, looking at my face. Okay, I'm gonna add some veins that I see on my face. Boom. Gonna add some eyelashes that I can see. Top and bottom. Gonna get that white blended in a little bit more, add some shadows, make it look a little bit more round. Boom, I'm gonna get black for the center. I'm gonna give myself a cat eye, cause fun. And then, as we all know, eyes typically have highlights. So I'm gonna give myself few highlights here and there, and then I'm gonna go back in with my original color, and I'm just gonna blend again. Blend. Okay, so those are 2 sample forms. It doesn't matter what form you create. It could be sphere, pyramid. If you want to make a nose or a mouth, to make a nose or a mouth. Just practice until you feel comfortable